Hello, my name is DC. I'm giving you match analysis for Brazil versus Norway. This is not a shock. I mean, they took Neymar, and I think that's where things went wrong. I understand Neymar has done his part in football, but he was not supposed to be in this one. Anyway, I think I'll go a bit deeper into that later into the video, but let's move on. All right, this goal is offside, but there's just a few things I'm uncomfortable with here. One, two, three, four. I mean, there's no one, not even in between, no one. They've just let them have that bit of a grouping, and then there's no one near there. And I don't know if they lose the ball or I don't know if Noah already had the ball. So this is the back four, right? And this is the entire midfield on one side, and this is the attack. I mean, they're too close to each other. And I think it's supposed to be one of the attackers that's supposed to be here. You're not supposed to have two midfielders out because you're going to leave a bunch of space there. And also the defense, I don't know if they're supposed to be up because if you can see these two defenders are up and then Marquinhos and Gabriel have decided to push back. So I don't know what's supposed to happen here because if they're supposed to be up, they would have been higher up, which means it would have been much more easier to pressure. But what they've done is that they've given Haaland all the space he needs to make that run. So let's continue. Pass is made. They're running, and then maybe if he times his run better, but maybe if he times his run better, maybe it will be it's a different story. But oh the god, in this game, the amount of back passes he played, and even this, I do feel he played it late. Yeah, he did. Because oh no. Let's move back. Here you can see him getting ahead of him. This is when he's supposed to play the pass. He takes another touch, and that's one thing about Odegaard. He takes more touches than he's supposed to take. That's all I can say. He stops running. If you see that he stops running. As the passes, he stops. And the question is, where are you going? You would expect him to actually make his run here to the center. They stop running. And then look, one, two, three. They're all running into this open space. These two players, why are you running this side? I don't think they know it's offside, but still, it would be very concerned because this displays attitude instead of going back to the center or just running just to make sure you're there to probably. I mean, come on, and then back line. I mean, come on, and then go and look. None of them know it's offside. Marquinhos pulled, but he just stops running, and this is an issue with attitude. Both players here, it's attitude. If you're not able to get back, that will show in different parts of the game. It's just that this was offside. I think something about Ronaldinho that he mentioned. Players are not willing to play for the badge anymore or the country, whatever it may be. This was a good offside call. Boom. Nice. It's a good call, and also I like the way that Brazil managed to, get him offside. But Odegaard, you see, play the pass now. He can see this. And this is why I've always doubted Odegaard as an attacking midfielder. I remember arguing with someone that I was saying Ozil was better, but then they told me Odegaard is the future, he's better than Ozil, he got 15 goals in a season. But if a different midfielder plays this ball quicker. And by the time he takes a touch, he's offside. And that's the minimal differences that's there in football. Anyway, let's move on to the penalty. And let's just be honest without wasting. Now, let's observe this technique. Bruno Guimaraes, number one, why was he the one to take the penalty? I don't see why when you have Vinny Jr. and Cunha in the team. I don't know why he was taking this penalty. And then I hate this stutter step. It's very unfair to the goalkeeper. But let's look. He stops his run. That's one. And then he goes. And then, fortunately enough, or not even fortunately, this is experience. This is him being a professional. He doesn't move. He does not give the person taking the penalty any benefit that he dives early. No, he stays strong. He stands still. Boom. He saves it. Very, very good save. A well saved penalty, but still, I don't know why. I really don't know why that happened. Okay, unfortunately, that Hendrick highlight is not there because I would have broken down how he just missed that opportunity and the big touches he made. But trust me, I do have a feeling João Pedro probably scores that. All right, so once again, Norway have the ball and then they are pushing forward, right? They've made this box where Haaland is just free to do whatever he wants. No one's really marking him or paying much close attention. All right, so boom, ball is played. Okay, right. So he starts pushing forward. All right, that's a bit too easy. All right, but your teammate is there to back you up. All right, so Marquinhos sees that he's there for him. He should be moving forward. Instead, he's moving backwards. Because here, okay, you know what? He's an attacker, but still, I do expect better. And you're setting yourself up for fail if you're going to go to the attack. I wouldn't want him to go like that because it's obviously going to get beaten. A few steps behind you, 2 or 3 steps behind you there. So that in case he does that, you just take him out, or probably use your body to shield, or just because if he takes that touch, he can push forward and get rid of the ball. But because he goes there and is closer or further away, he can take that slightly heavier touch, and then he gets past him. Now here the Brazil defender doesn't engage. He keeps moving back. At that point, engage. He's more worried about the player that's behind him. If there's one thing in football that most people usually, I don't know, misinterpret, as long as you do your job, what happens behind you is not your fault. If you are dealing with your man in front of you, whoever is behind you is not your problem. If someone's making a run behind you, don't even worry. As long as you do your job and block off or just make it harder for this person to do whatever he wants to do, you have done your job. Him making a run is someone else's job. You don't have to worry about that. And he practically gives him the angle because I probably want him to take it probably down the line and then have to, a cross that's moving backwards. It's probably going to be elevated. And since it's going away from goal, it's probably going to be in the advantage of a defender, depending though, especially if it's in the air. But look at this. He doesn't even engage. And moreover, he even turns his back, so he's practically opening up the angle for that ball to be played. And then Haaland, once again, he just dunks on Gabriel. Oh my goodness. Haaland, I think he just loves playing against Gabriel. He loves it. So now, we already broke it down from this side. Now let's break it down from this side, right? Gabriel Haaland. Now look at how the distance or how the movement is. Haaland is moving forward, right? Gabriel is moving backwards. And this is even more terrible defending. I mean, he doesn't even attempt. Anyway, we've done that already. Gabriel is still moving backwards. And at this time, his body is still shifting this side. Haaland is moving this side. So it means Gabriel, with his body leaning towards the goal, will have to jump. And Haaland is already moving forward and he will take a leap to go this way. So who do you think is most likely to win this battle? Haaland jumps to the ball. Gabriel jumps straight. And if something is moving this way and something is moving that way, final is to go that way, isn't it? And guess what? Where does Gabriel go? He doesn't even set himself up properly to deal with the 1v1 header or just to deal with that duel. So there's a problem with the wing there where the ball is easily played in. And then also here, Gabriel, he should be stronger. Because trust me, if he was at Arsenal, I don't think he lets that happen so easily. I don't think so, though. Anywho, let's head on to the next goal that he scored by Norway. All right, so I think somewhere here. Ball is played. All right. Once again here. All right, he's doing his best. Haaland's in space, but fortunately we have two world-class centre-backs. And if the ball is played to Haaland, they'll probably go and pressure him because this is the best chance for you to get the ball off him. It's the 89th minute. He doesn't have support, so if you get the ball off him, you move on to try and score a goal. Remember, these are two world-class centre-backs that are here, right? Let's see. All right, so the ball is played to Haaland, right? So immediately that ball is played, these two should be rushing out to stop that, right? Since they are two world-class centre-backs, right? My goodness, these people deserve to lose. Brazil deserve to lose. So now this is where, if you do your research, people will say he's a tap-in merchant. No, he's a very good striker, and if there's one thing Haaland has, is a very powerful shot. You do not leave Haaland to take a touch, even take a touch. bring the ball down, take another touch to set himself up, and he scores. And people are even shocked because this for me is surprising. These are two world-class centre backs. They just watch. They just watch. Immediately that pass is played, someone should be rushing. And that's attitude. We saw it in the other one whereby players didn't want to run as much. Here in the 89th minute, you don't want to chase the ball. They have already lost mentally in their mind. They have known that the game is gone. They can't even bother to chase for the ball or to fight to get it back so that they can at least try to get an equalizer. And because of that, they get punished by a well taken goal. And look at that, he's just chilling. Odegaard, why are you surprised? This is Haaland. You know what he does to Arsenal Football Club. He's just walking. That it's It just shows what Brazil are. It really does. And then look at how hard penalty. And then okay, one thing I do feel we had the bet for both teams to score, but I do respect he's not going to argue with them. He's confident in his decision. That's one thing I can at least give him praise for. He's confident. He knows. He doesn't have to explain. He doesn't have to do the VAR thing. No, he just looks at him. He points to the cheek, and then he also signals for the elbow. You know what has happened. I won't explain to you. He doesn't even bother wasting words. Confident referee. That's all I can say. Reason why I'm saying this isn't a foul. Both players jump for the ball. One is taller than the other. One is taller than the other. Maybe, but for me personally, I wouldn't give it because by this time his hands are already down. And this is why you put your hands up. Because by the time the ball is coming here, he reaches he reaches to the ball first. He's more hungry for that. He's much, much more hungry for that ball than Casemiro is at this point. And then Casemiro goes down. Okay, let's look at the Neymar pen. And funny enough, he hits it the same way Bruno Guimaraes scored. It's exactly the same thing. Stutter step. The only difference is that the keeper he doesn't move. And it's because of that silly stutter step. They should really change that rule. The only difference is that he doesn't move. Maybe because it's Neymar. But if he dove the right way, he probably would have scored. And then now this is why this is also mentality again. You're losing a game. You have scored a penalty, 90 plus 9 minutes. So extra time, right? Instead of going to the ball, you're going to go and tell the goalkeeper. You're pointing to yourself. What are you trying to prove? You've already lost the game. And then this is why I wouldn't take Neymar, because this is one of those. He said this is something personal. Your team is losing. What are you trying to argue with the goalkeeper for? And to make matters worse, it's just a consolation goal. That penalty was never supposed to be given. You have gotten your goal, but your team has lost. So if that's the reason why they wanted to take Neymar for the sake of him having a World Cup goal, no. I mean, not even no. This is the result that they wanted. They've got exactly what they asked for. And then the goalkeeper just brushes him to the side. That's so funny. Because stutter step. I don't like this because the goalkeeper. It's difficult to tell when the shot will be taken. Yeah, he dove the wrong. He just chose the wrong side, but otherwise, this is not a shock result. Brazil have been having problems, and you can also tell not just by the way they play, just by the color of their kit. They don't play the same way anymore. The kit isn't as yellow as it was before. That's just a little Easter egg, as they said, as people would say. But I'm actually, in a way, happy because they left out people that were performing, players like João Pedro, players like Anthony for Real Betis. He was supposed to be there based on merit, but they chose Neymar. All the pundits, all the media houses, they said he should go. They went. Neymar got the goal, but his team went back home. And yeah, congratulations to Norway. They really deserve this. Haaland captained his side very well. I know he's not the captain, but he's the captain, if you know what I mean. And yeah,